supercalifragilisticexpialidocious say to you guys. My name is Genesis, and you're watching Nerdgasms. Okay, so let's get things straight. If you have attention deficit hyperactive disorder or just have an attention span of a 3-year-old kid and just want to know, is the movie good or not? Well, there's only one thing I can say to you, my friend. It's so good! Now that it's out of my system, let's begin. So for those of you who don't know about Captain America Civil War, Captain America Civil War revolves around after the events of Captain America Winter Soldier and Avengers Age of Ultron, and a little bit of Ant-Man. So if you haven't watched any of those, you're gonna have a few moments of, what now? Who the hell's that guy? Why does that guy look weird? Why is he showing off his biceps? Why do I find Aunt Mary attractive? But if you're not willing to spend a few hours of your time to catch up with a few movies, don't worry. Trust me, you're still gonna have a good time, and you won't be scratching your heads with the movie's main plot. So the movie revolves around the aftermath of Sokovia and all the other catastrophic shit that the Avengers have caused while quote-unquote saving the world. And the government is like, we have to have this superhero registration act so that all the other superheroes can operate under the government's supervision and command. And because of that, Iron Man's like, yeah, we should be controlled and all that. 'Cause, you know, killed and all that after that guy. On the other hand, Captain America's like, no, freedom, we must choose, and, you know, democracy and shit. So, yeah, America. And democracy and freedom. It's the fan. Avengers take sides, and that's starting the Civil War, aka the best Marvel movie yet. So this movie has a lot to live up to, being the second Marvel movie by the Russo brothers, with Captain America the Winter Soldier being their first Marvel movie, which is, by the way, the best Marvel movie so far before this. And it has to redeem the little bit disappointing Avengers Age of Ultron. Okay, so in a nutshell, Captain America Civil War is a lot of things. Number one, it's a Captain America movie. Number two, it's a Bourne-ish, spy-ish, espionage movie. Number three, it's technically Avengers 2.5. Also, it's surprisingly an Iron Man movie as well. And lastly, one of the most important things is that it's an introductory movie for two Marvel newbies, which are Black Panther and Spider-Man. And I know what you're thinking, overcrowding. But surprisingly enough, this movie knows exactly what it is and what it should be, and therefore excels in every aspect of it. Keep in mind that this is a Captain America movie. Don't get fooled by the big Civil War thing written there. People kept saying they should just call it Civil War and remove the Captain America there, but no. This really is a Captain America movie. Everything you loved about Captain America the Winter Soldier is still here. The espionage, the mystery, the intrigue, and yes, you're correct, I said intrigue, and it's really rare for us to feel intrigued by a comic book movie. I don't even know if a comic book movie really does intrigue. Oh, wait a minute. But yeah, it really is that good, and it has enough mystery, story, and action to keep you hooked. This is what I really love about the Russo brothers. It's just that they get to make this very established story in the beginning with very good character development, and at the same time keeping you hooked up with action that is not put there for the sake of being there, you know? You know when it gets like, you know, it's getting kind of boring. Let's just throw in some random action scene right there just to not get the audience bored or something. No, the action scenes were actually there for the story. It happens for a reason. It's not just shoehorned for the sake of being an action scene. It actually makes a lot of sense. Every action scene happens here for a reason, and it was thoughtfully and carefully put there, not only for the sake of being there, but actually making it a storytelling element. Everything happens for a reason, and everything happens with a consequence. Okay, so this is gonna be one of the concerns that the fans are gonna have with this movie. The balance of the characters. You will be putting almost all of the Avengers in a solo Captain America movie. Of course you're worried that some might just end up being toppings on a cake. But I'm glad to say that's not the case with this movie. Every Avenger has his or her own personality. Every Avenger has a motive. There are new friendships that are made with matching personalities. You can also feel the tension with the Avengers with clashing personalities, so there's just this big chemistry going on with all these Avengers. It's like the writers have written the script many times in different perspectives. Like, if I'm Black Widow, what would I do? If I'm a godlike being like Vision, how could I be relatable? And every decision just makes perfect sense to the characters. The all-knowing Vision Iron Man side, yep, makes perfect sense. And when that scene happens, all of the Avengers shine, both in their personalities and in their powers. It's like the Russo brothers have done what Joss Whedon have done to Hawkeye in Avengers Age of Ultron, where they paid attention to Hawkeye so that he will no longer be your least favorite Avenger. Yep, they've done it, but like 10 times more with like all of the characters. So yeah, they've been Hawkeyed. And yep, that's a word now, Hawkeye. Speaking of developing characters, let's talk about T'Challa, or for what he's known more as, the Black Panther. At first when I heard about Black Panther being in Civil War, I was like, alright, they shoehorned Black Panther in Civil War, cool. But this movie made absolutely great justice in introducing Black Panther to us. His identity, his personality, his motives, and the story is also relevant to him. However, discussing most of the story might touch into spoiler territory, so I won't talk about that anymore. And of course, how can we forget about Spidey? I know you're all excited about seeing Spider-Man in this movie, and I don't have to say much. Seeing Spider-Man is one of the best things in this movie. It's not disappointing. New Spidey is so good, and May is hot for some reason. I'm gonna call her Hot May from now on. Hot May. All in all, Spider-Man is simply just one of the best things about this movie. Thumbs up, Marvel's favorite darling. And lastly, I also said that this is also an Iron Man movie. Now this is what I love the most about this movie. It's that all the characters are so well made that you know all their circumstances, that you sometimes almost get to understand all sides because you know what they're going through. You get to empathize with all the characters, and the characters have been successfully humanized. Even Vision is humanized. And just because it is a Captain America movie doesn't mean that the other side is wrong. The movie actually manages to stay gray all throughout. You're in the middle of all these things happening. There's these wrongs and there's this rights, and you don't exactly know what side you're on. You get to empathize with Captain America's side, you get to empathize with Iron Man's side. All sides have right and wrongs, gains and losses. And you know, this is actually very rare for movies to achieve these days. Most movies, though, creating this clash of two kinds of people kind of stuff, always tend to end up having the other one way more than the other. You know, like the protagonist side always ends up being more correct than the other. Hence you choosing the protagonist side always. But this is not the case here. Not here. You can feel that this is a family being torn by the family members' own humanities, their weaknesses. You empathize with each and every one of them, that these are friends that do not actually want to kill each other, but under the circumstances, they're, you know, stuck in this inevitability that they have to beat each other up and, you know, do this war and stuff like that. Everything is done with so much justice with all of the characters that I feel like there's no need for an Iron Man 4 to happen. You know, for the redemption of Iron Man's character. But it won't hurt if you make another Iron Man movie, Marvel. So quick gripes for a very good movie. The action was very good all throughout, but there are a few scenes in the Captain America Born-ish part where the espionage spy action happens and they're using this shaky cam. I'm not saying shaky cam is bad for movies, but the way this particular action scene was filmed in shaky cam, I was like, what the hell was happening? And then I'm lost. Good thing the rest of the superhero showdown, especially with Spidey and Ant-Man, were excellently shot and everything else went smoothly. Just that one scene, that shaky cam. One scene, not the whole movie. So, verdict time. If you come for a movie with a good, intriguing, and hard-hitting story, go watch this one. If you come for a character-centered and tension-building movie, go watch this one too. If you just want to have a good time and have lots of fun, this is a movie for you as well. And if you're just a simpleton who just want to watch superheroes beat themselves to death, also, if you're not a fan of comic book movie and enjoy realistic kind of movies, this actually also is a movie for you. That's because Captain America Civil War's verdict is... So it's an epic Hall of Famer film. That's the best rating I've got. It's not every day we get to have a movie that can be serious and fun at the same time. Spectacular, yet realistic enough. See, a movie can do that. You can enjoy a movie without risking the other. You can have a good movie without risking the fun. You know what that's called? Good direction. So the opening movie of Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 3. What's your favorite MCU movie so far? Share your nerdgasms in the comment box below. Just don't start a civil war, okay? Also, please check my spoiler talk. I'm gonna put an annotation there once it's already available. And once again, this has been Genesis X, signing off.